Zohar, beresheet A, verse 123. From the lower aspect, referring to animals, beasts, and birds that were molded into shape by that impure spirit, forms, namely private spirits, were drawn out. These were enclothed by other vestments, such as forms of impure animals, and the Torah said of them, "These shall be unclean to you." Vayikra 11:29. These forms include pigs and the birds and animals that belong to the other side. The spirit is called by the name that is defiled, and the body is its vestment. The body is called the flesh of the pig, because it is a pig in its inner being, in its spirit, while the flesh is a garment covering that spirit. Therefore, both aspects, those included within the secret of man and those included within the secret of the impure, are separated from and oppose each other. On the side of holiness are the spirit of man in general, and the spirits of pure animals, beasts, and fowl, which are the particular. From the side of wicked man is the impure wicked man, which is considered the general aspect, and the spirits of impure animals, beasts, and fowl, that are the particulars, they oppose each other. Every kind of animal stays with its own kind and does not mix with the opposite kind. Even if it does, it eventually returns to its own kind. Verse 124. All the upper shining lights shine within that firmament of heaven, so that proper forms may be drawn down below. As it is written, and Elohim set them in the firmament of heaven, to rule over the day and over the night. Beresheet 1:17. For the dominion of the two lights is a proper dominion. Verse 125. The phrase, the greater luminary, namely Zerampin, rules the day, and the lesser luminary, which is the female principle, rules the night. The secret learned from here is that the male rules by day and fills up the house with all that is needed, such as food and sustenance. As soon as night falls and the female takes command, everything in the house falls under her control, because then it is time for her dominion. As it is written, she rises also while it is yet night and gives food to her household. Mishlei 31:15. She and not he. So the female principle, not Zerampin, gives at night. As the dominion over the day belongs to the male, and the dominion over the night belongs to the female. Verse 126. The greater luminary is the sun, which has 12 openings and 12 hours. As the sun rules over the day, the lesser luminary is the moon, which also has 12 openings. The moon rules over the night, which has 12 hours. For this reason it is written, on that day Hashem shall be one, and his name one. Zechariah 14:9. One is mentioned twice. Once for Yud He Vav He, who is Zerampin, the greater luminary, and once of his name, which is the female principle, the lesser luminary. The sun together with its 12 openings becomes the 13 attributes of mercy. The moon together with its 12 openings also adds up to 13. So the sun becomes one and the moon becomes one. Then it says Hashem shall be one and his name one, because the numerical value of Echad, one, adds up to 13. Thus the sun and the moon become one, and the day and the night also become one. This is why it is written, and there was evening and there was morning, one day. Beresheet 1:5. The secret of this union is only applicable on high. Verse 127. The verse "and the stars" means that after the female has attained order in her house and retired with her husband, the maidens are left in charge of the house. The maidens who serve the female are called the stars. And the secret of the phrase "and the stars" is that the feminine gender principle turns control of the house over to them to deal with all the requirements of the house. That is to prepare her for mating with the sun and to bestow the abundance of the day. This is during the darkness before dawn, when the maidens, the stars rule, which is an inferior rule, then darkness is doubled in the world. This is the secret meaning of a portion to her maidens. Mishlei 31:15. Afterwards, that is, after the mating and the darkness of the morning, before dawn breaks, the household returns to the dominion of the male during the day, and everything is set properly in place. This means that the female is included within the male, according to the secret of the mating, and is under his control. She reveals the light of the morning to the world as it should be. Verse 128. And Elohim made the two great lights, beresheet 1:16. The sun is one and the moon is the other. Because of this, the lights that ascend are called the luminaries of the lights, whereas those that descend are called luminaries of the fire. These luminaries of the fire are the lower grades and rule over all the weekdays. Because of this, a blessing is recited over the candle when Shabbat ends, because at that point the luminaries of the fire are given permission to rule again. Verse 129. The fingers of man represent the most hidden of all grades and secrets of the supernal world, and are divided in front and back. The back of the fingers represent the external part, an allusion to the fingernails. As such, man may look at his fingernails as Shabbat ends, as they shine by the candlelight and are bright from that fire that rules over the day of the week. Verse 130. The fingernails are visible, but it is not permissible to see the inner part of the fingers by this candlelight, because they shine only from above, and the inner part of the fingers is called the inner face. This is the secret of the verse, and you shall see my back, but not my face. Shemot 33:23, which means that a person should not look at the inside of his fingers at the end of Shabbat, as he recites the blessing. Creator of the luminaries of the fire, Bor me orei ha'esh. The phrase, and you shall see my back, refers to the external part of the fingers, which is hinted at in the fingernails, and shines as Shabbat ends. But my face shall not be seen, refers to the inside of the fingers, which cannot receive from the luminaries of the fire. The internal part of the fingers rules on Shabbat. The external part of the fingers rules during the weekdays. Verse 131. On Shabbat day, the Holy One, blessed be He, rules alone over this inner face, sitting upon His throne of glory. All are included within Him, and the dominion is His. This is why the Holy One, blessed be He, transmits calmness to all the worlds, and the holy nation, which is called the one nation on earth, receives the inheritance of this day. The luminaries of the light originate from the side of the right, which is the primal light that was on the first day of the 7 days of creation. This alludes to the light that is mentioned in the verse, let there be light. On the day of Shabbat, the luminaries of the light shine alone and govern, illuminating all the worlds below Atzilut. When Shabbat is over, verse 132, when Shabbat is over, the luminaries of the light are hidden, and the luminaries of the fire govern the worlds, with each and every one in its place. That is, the luminaries of light rule during Shabbat, and the luminaries of fire during the weekdays. He asks, when do they rule? He replied, from the end of Shabbat until Shabbat Eve. Thus, it is necessary to receive light from that candle as Shabbat ends. Verse 133, the verse, and the living creatures ran and returned, means that the eye is not able to observe the revealed living creatures as they run to and fro. This refers to the lower living creatures, of which it is written, and you shall see my back. This is because the will, ophan in Hebrew, that is stationed in their midst is Metatron, who is far greater and more important than the rest of the living creatures. He is higher than they by 500 parsangs. Verse 134. The concealed living creatures are hidden beneath the upper concealed letters, Yod-He, of the name Yod-Ke Vav-Ke, which govern Vav and He of the name Yod-Ke Vav-Ke. The ones are a chariot for the others. This is, the letters Vav and He are a chariot for the letters Yod and He. This means that they reveal their illumination as a rider is seen in his chariot. As a result, by revealing their illumination, the lower living creatures are a chariot for the upper living creatures. And that which is most concealed, which is completely unknown, is the secret of the endless light, which is hinted at by the tip of the letter Yud of the name Yod-Ke Vav-Ke. It controls everything and rides upon them all, which means that all the grades manifest its dominion over the world. The living creatures which are revealed are down below the upper and concealed living creatures. Their illumination comes from them, and they travel according to them. In other words, the lower living creatures have no motivation of their own except for what they receive from the upper living creatures. Verse 135. The upper living creatures who are concealed are all included in the firmament of heaven, as it is written of them, let there be luminaries in the firmament of heaven, Beresheet 1:14. The verse, and let there be luminaries in the firmament of heaven, informs us that all the lights are suspended from that firmament of heaven. That is the firmament above the living creatures, about which it is written, and over the heads of the living creatures there was a likeness of a firmament, as the color of the terrible ice. This is the primal firmament.